Here's some amazing food for thought regarding the rapture. Now, in Genesis chapter 5, yep, way back in the Old Testament, is where we have the first hint from the Lord that he actually can snatch people out of this world before their supposed time to go and without dying. In Genesis chapter 5, verses 23 and 24, we read about the great grandfather of Noah. Altogether, Enoch lived a total of 365 years. Enoch walked faithfully with God, then he was no more because God took him away. There you go. In a world where other people were living 7, 8, 900 years, Enoch walks with God just 365 years, and because he was faithful to the Lord, he just was extracted out of this world, taken straight to heaven without dying. That, my friends, is a definite hint of the rapture. But what is even more amazing is what I was reading through today in Hebrews chapter 11, what we call the Great Hall of Faith. It's divided into several sections, but the first section of that Hall of Faith includes the mention of 4 Old Testament men of God. In Hebrews 11, we read of, in verse 4, Abel. Remember Cain and Abel? We read of Abel. We read of Enoch, we read of Noah, and we read of Abraham. And it is in that order that the Holy Spirit of God decided to mention these great men of faith. So not only does Enoch get raptured in the book of Genesis, but God puts the recalling of that information in a certain order in the New Testament. I find it so interesting because Enoch is mentioned in Hebrews 11 right before Noah. The Bible tells us even in Hebrews that he was taken away because he pleased God, that he did not experience death. God could have raptured, if you will, Noah's great-grandson. He could have shown an example of the rapture after the flood, but instead he chose to rapture someone right before Noah's flood. He chose to show us that the snatching away of God's faithful people happens before the time of judgment. And God has made it so clear by recounting, even in the New Testament, the order of events. We know nothing is random with God. He must have done this on purpose.